Page 150, and thank you, Amelia and Ronan. Page 150.
Key change, what we read.
Too many in a row.
Praise to Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Page 152. Please stand for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'divartam ve'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vlektecha b'teren u'v'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'od al yadecha ve'ayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem gedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem. And next, page 157, we read responsively by indented paragraph. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May we reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158, an excerpt from the Song of the Sea, which we just read from the Torah last Shabbat. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We continue page 160, Hashkivenu.
Prayer for shelter. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom. L'Aleinu, L'Aleinu, L'Aleinu.
page 162 at the bottom of the page in the English, and we read together. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. Page 164, we will be on the, page 164, we will continue on the even number pages. This is a prayer that is typically said while standing, so I invite those who are comfortable in doing so to please rise. Please be seated. We continue at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue individually through page 178, picking one prayer out of every 2-page spread that you see before you. or prayers from your heart. Page 178, a prayer for peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. We offer thanks now for all the gifts and blessings we enjoy for our celebrations and simchas. I'd like to invite anyone in the congregation who is celebrating or who has something they are especially grateful for to share their joy and thanksgiving with our community. So, yes.
Well, we've been away the last couple of Fridays, but we have the very rare, like it hasn't happened for a few decades, that just our three children who were celebrating some milestone birthdays of their own had a siblings getaway and invited mom and dad to go with them to Mexico for a week. We had an amazing week, and during that period of time, we also celebrated our birthdays and our 54th anniversary.
Okay, so that's just like Simcha on top of Simcha on top of Simcha. Travel with your kids, milestone birthdays, your birthdays, and your 54th anniversary.
Yes.
I think you were overachievers this week when it comes to celebrations and Simchas.
And our kids,
Mazal congratulations.
thank you. Our kids' spouses and their kids sharing our kids with us.
Lovely. Yes.
Well, I'm exceedingly grateful and thankful that some of you who come all the time know of the heart issues that my husband has been having. And the last 4 months have been really, really awful. And both of us really thought he wasn't going to make it. And he had an angiogram today. And it turns out not only does he not have to have the surgery we thought that was really, really risky, not only does he not have to have that, but everything that, things that have been, the surgeries and things he had over the past couple of years are looking great. And we got the best explanation from the surgeon that drew a picture of the heart and the whole, everything, all of it, and showed everywhere in his, what was working and what wasn't working, but now this is working and that's working, and, you know, so, I mean, he's not totally out of the, but that's why he's not here, he's really exhausted. But it was quite a day and quite a lot of stuff.
So it sounds like you had amazing news today.
It was amazing,
Congratulations.
it was beyond our wildest expectations.
And that must be why you're wearing hearts today.
Well, I put that on before I even knew this was gonna happen on Valentine's Day. You know, so
Okay, any other simchas and joys to share on this side of the room? Okay, yes, Amelia.
I got to have a sleepover at my friend's house and got to play with lots of people at rest last night.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, yes.
My simcha has really been all that I have a 3-day weekend coming up and about that.
So happiness for a 3-day weekend for President's Day. Okay, yes, I was wondering when your hand was gonna go up.
I'm just back from Seattle welcoming the first grandchild in our family, so very exciting.
Yay! Yes, a little grandchild, the first grandchild is definitely something to celebrate and something to rejoice. Yes,
My simcha is that my cousin had a baby a week ago.
that's fantastic. Mazal tov on a new baby.
Thank you.
Fantastic, okay. For all these things, Eternal One, we say, Modim anachnu lach, we give thanks to you, source of all. May we go from strength to strength, and may we always offer our abundant thanks for your many blessings along the way. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
We now think of those who are ailing or in care. We ask for names of congregants and friends who are in need of healing.
Harry Bittker, Madeline Horak, and Happy Best.
Yaakov Bensky Harris and Karen Feldman.
Sonia Evans, Adele McCobb, Steve Barringer, and Marcia Barringer.
Beatrice Travis and Mark still is healing.
B, Cop, and Art, and Marlene, and Dave.
And I'd like to wish healing and strength for all in our Cabby community and their families and friends locally and nationwide. And I'm guessing for our guests and your families as well, who are hurting because of the loss of jobs, and in turn for those who rely on the programs and services that those jobs provided.
Lisa Betts.
I invite those who are joining us virtually to say the names of those you are thinking of for healing out loud now. I add the names Sheila McLean, Ginger Schulman, Simon Rosenblatt, Harav Elkachana Bat Leah, Harav Ariel Yehudit Bat Aviva. Oh, page 371.
Misha Baraka, prayer for healing. Misha Make
years ago, really years ago, I saw a movie with Paul Newman that I really enjoyed. And when I read a review of the movie later, the reviewer commented that not only did Newman make his acting look effortless, but also that he did something even more important for the film. His work inspired everyone else to improve their acting as well. We see this same idea in sports. One of the ways to improve is to work with or compete against someone who is better than you are. Part of this improvement might be seeing what someone else can do. Part of this improvement might be stretching our expectations of ourselves. Sometimes we can do this on our own. Sometimes we need the push of a teacher or a boss or a coach who can see just how much we could achieve when we can't see it. In this week's Torah portion, Parashat Yitro, it's all about living up to higher expectations. God clearly has higher expectations of the children of Israel. Despite their complaining since being freed from Egypt, manna for dinner again? It would have been better if we never left Egypt. God is entering into a covenant with Israel. Before the giving of the Ten Commandments, before the covenant at Sinai, God calls Moses up the mountain and says to him, "Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob and declare to the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to me. Now then, if you will obey me faithfully and keep my covenant, you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." God is asking Moses to remind the Israelites of all that God has done and all that God could do. The image evoked of being born on eagle's wings is very poetic and powerful. Rashi, a medieval commentator from Provence, speaks of an eagle as not only being strong and unafraid, flying higher than other birds, but also willing to put its body between its offspring and any danger from below. The Torah, a women's commentary, suggests, whereas the prior parasha contains a number of masculine images of God, and possibly some female divine imagery, here we find God depicted as an eagle, a metaphor that evokes the way this majestic bird protectively carries its young while training them to flight. Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, in his commentary on Exodus, frames it as a dialogue between God and the people. "You saw what I did to Egypt, all the signs and miracles, and I bore you on the wings of eagles. You arrived here in a wondrous fashion. Such a long journey for a large nation, including all of the families and baggage, is no simple matter. And I brought you to me, to this place, where the entire people will experience a direct encounter with God, an unprecedented event in history." I agree with Steinsaltz that the important part of this verse is the destination and not the mode of transportation. God says, "I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to me." The image is one of being lifted up to God, being brought up to a level where we might actually enter into covenant with God, as it were. God does not actually have eagle's wings, just as God does not have a mighty hand or a strong arm to bring us out of Egypt. God's power has redeemed us from Egypt, and God's expectations for us is that we will live up to the covenant that we received at Sinai. When we do live up to these higher expectations, God promises us that we will be to God a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. You can't get much higher than that. I invite you to take up your prayer books again, to turn please to page 586. I invite you to stand as you are comfortable in doing so as we begin to conclude the service. Aleinu l'shabeach maton hakol, l'tefilah leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei aratzot, velo האדמה, שלא סמכתנו כהם, ודור רבינו ככל עוונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. At this time, we think of all those who have gone before us, those who we still remember. We are in the period of Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning for Carol Woenick. We also recall David Thompson, Judith Garter, Marion Holmes, Alan Salzberg, Linda Tell, Myrna Herman, Pam Heumann, Lee Edge, Harry Packer, Audrey Roberts Kling, Paul Frank, Karen Schneider, Max Garcia, Donna Dwiggins, Beverly Conley, who died in the past months. Are there others whose names that you wish to mention for Yahrzeit for the anniversary of their death?
Stephen Winter.
Matthew Miller, Gavin Powell.
Milton Kickett.
My father, Robert Pollock, as well as Wilker Maxwell, who passed away this week.
I invite those who are joining us virtually to say the names of the ones that you are remembering for Yahrzeit out loud. I now invite all the mourners and all those whose custom it is to do so to rise for Kaddish, which is found on page 598. Page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlit malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayeda kol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, Shemei Isha B'richu. La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbevata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Please be seated. I'd like to say welcome again to Professor Joe Gorman from College of Idaho and all of your students. Welcome, it's delightful to have you here. And immediately following this, just so all of you know, we go across to the other building to the social hall and we will say a blessing over bread and over wine, but it's just a blessing over something before we eat it. There's nothing, anybody can have the bread, anybody can have the wine or grape juice. So just so you know. Are there other guests who this is their first time here at Cabby who would like to introduce themselves? It's not compulsory, but we would love to meet you if you are willing to stand up and introduce yourself. Sure.
Hi, I'm Carson. I'm a student at BSU. I'm the vice president of the Jewish Student Union on campus. I just came today because it was the last Shabbat for my dad's Shaloshim period, which is why I said his name. But I'm going to try and get myself as well as the other members and officers of Hillel to come here periodically, maybe every other week or so for a Shabbat service. So,
You're always welcome, and I'm so sorry for the recent loss.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Other folks? Yes.
Hi everyone, Elazar from Israel, and this is my husband Iran, and
Definitely, Bruchim Habayim. Anyone else who, okay. So what's happening at Cabby? In the next couple of weeks, 2 weeks from tonight, no, 1 week from tonight. Oh my goodness, 1 week from tonight is Repro Shabbat. It's a Shabbat that happens when we read the part of the book of Exodus that, is the basis for the idea that saving a life through abortion, saving the mother's life through abortion it's not considered a sin. So that's the part of Mishpatim, the part of Exodus that we read. And we talk about reproductive justice. So next week, the service is going to be very lean and spare, because we're then going to hear from a number of people anonymously their abortion stories, so that we understand that this affects more people than we actually realize. And then coming up is Purim, which is actually a month from tonight. Believe it or not, oh my goodness. Yes, a month from tonight is Purim. So just keep all of that in mind. Read your emails, there's all sorts of things. Oh, and I'm teaching a Zoom class on Tuesday nights. So again, read your emails, just so you know. Okay, our closing song today is on page 652 in your prayer book. And it is a famous Israeli song, as our Israeli friends Elazar and Liran will acknowledge. It's a classic for a reason. Ani ve'ata.
More introduction, a little more introduction about it.
That's fine.
This is on page 652 in your blue prayer book.
This song was written by the beloved Israeli singer Arik Einstein. He first performed in 1971. It seems to be needed now as much as ever. You and I can change the world. Sometimes we have to start all over, and it may be very difficult, but together, you and I, we will do it.
We start with the first verse and sing the chorus, which I believe is indented there. And we sing the second verse and the chorus, and then we go back and do the first verse again. That's what happens when it's a fairly short song.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.